What's going on YouTube? My name is Ron King, back once again with one more video. As always, if you enjoy the content, please leave a like on the video, comment on the video with any feedback you might have, and subscribe to the channel for related business content. Now, today's video, we will be reacting to a speech by Jeff Bezos. I believe it probably wasn't a speech, it was like an interview, but he had some great ideas, some great advice to share. So we will be reacting to that. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
You guys will find that you have passions, and having a passion is a gift. I think we all have passions, and you don't get to choose them. They pick you, but you have to be alert to them. You have to be looking for them. And when you find your passion, it's a fantastic gift for you because it gives you direction, it gives you purpose. You can have a job, or you can have a career, or you can have a calling. And the best thing is to have a calling. And if you find your passion, you'll have that, and all your work won't feel like work to you.
Real quick, I'm gonna stop it right there. That was some great advice. He said you can have a job, you can have a career, or you can have a passion, or sorry, a calling, which is a purpose. And the best thing to have is a purpose because it streamlines what you need to be doing in order to align with that purpose. That was some very good advice. Let's keep moving.
Many kids and many grown-ups do figure out over time what their passions are. And sometimes we let I don't think it's that hard. I think what happens though sometimes is that we let our intellectual selves overrule those passions. And so that's what needs to be guarded against. My job, one of my jobs as the leader of Amazon, is to encourage people to be bold. And people love to focus on things that aren't yet working. And that's good, it's human nature. That kind of divine discontent can be very helpful. But it's incredibly hard to get people to take bold bets. And you need to encourage that. And if you're gonna take bold bets, they're gonna be experiments. And if they're experiments, you don't know ahead of time whether they're gonna work. Experiments are by their very nature prone to failure, but big successes, a few big successes compensate for dozens and dozens of things that didn't work. So, bold bets, AWS, Kindle, Amazon Prime, our third-party seller business, all of those things are examples of bold bets that did work, and they pay for a lot of experiments. I've made billions of dollars of failures at Amazon.com.
Wow, that's amazing. He said he's made billions of dollars worth of failures at Amazon, but yet the company is making way more than the cost of all those failures. I think people get caught up in, not wanting to take risks because they don't want to fail, but people have to realize that failure is what pushes you forward. Every failure gets you closer to success. So if you can learn from the failures and figure out why you failed and improve on it for the next time, you'll be that much closer to success. So I think his mindset of just innovation and experimentation and wanting to try new things is great because even though you'll fail a lot, those successes that you will have will overrule those failures and you will be successful. So let's move on.
Literally billions of dollars of failures. And you might remember pets.com or Cosmo, or give myself a root canal with no anesthesia very easily. None of those things are fun, but they don't matter. What really matters is companies that don't continue to experiment, companies that don't embrace failure, they eventually get in a desperate position where the only thing they can do is make a kind of Hail Mary bet at the very end of their corporate existence. Whereas companies that are, making bets all along, even, big bets, but not bet the company bets. I don't believe in bet the company bets. That's when you're desperate. That's the last thing you can do. It's not, you can be out of work and be.
So real quick, he was talking about taking calculated risks. Taking risks that, yes, if they fail, you will lose some money, but not taking risks that if you fail this time, your whole company is done. So I think taking calculated risk is the best way to go about it, because when you take a calculated risk, you know what you're going to lose, and what you lose will be something that you could get back, or something that won't tank the whole company. So that was a great point by Jeff.
Have terrible work-life balance. Even though you've got all the time in the world,
Right.
you could just feel like, oh my God, I'm miserable, and you would be draining energy. And so you have to find that harmony. It's a much better word. And I think for most people, it's about meaning. People want to know that they're doing something interesting and useful. And for us, because of the challenges that we have chosen for ourselves, we get to work in the future, and it's super fun to work in the future for the right kind of person. You need to be nimble and robust. So you need to be able to take a punch, and you also need to be quick and innovative and doing new things at a high speed. That's the best defense against the future. And you have to always be leaning into the future. If you're leaning away from the future is going to win every time. Never, ever, ever lean away from the future. We all have adversity in our lives. I doubt if you really, if you know somebody, any friend or anybody that you talk to, there's no lack of adversity. And by the way, that's good, because it's what teaches us how to get back up. You fall down, you get back up. It always happens. And you get certain gifts in life, and you want to take advantage of those. But I guess my advice on adversity and success would be to be proud not of your gifts, but of your hard work and your choices. So
That's a great point. I wanted to actually touch on the last point he made about keeping up with the future, looking into the future and seeing what you can do next, how you can innovate. I think that's very important in business, because, as he said, if you're not looking into the future will win every time. So you need to be constantly innovating, constantly trying and experimenting things, so that you can be best prepared for the future. And what he said about adversity, he said in life you need to be proud of not your gifts, but of your hard work and the good choices that you've made. Because your gifts, you can't really, you were born with them. It's a gift. It wasn't like you put in some work to get that gift. But what you can be proud of is your hard work and the good choices that you've made, because those are a result of decisions that you have made. So I like that advice. So let's keep going.
you may be, the kinds of gifts you get in life, you might be really good at math. It might be really easy for you. That's a kind of gift. But practicing that math and taking it to the next step, that could be very challenging and hard, and take a lot of sweat. That's a choice. You can't really be proud of your gifts because they were given to you. You can be grateful for them and thankful for them. But your choices, you choose to work hard. You choose to do hard things. Those are choices that you can be proud of. Being an inventor requires, because the world is so complicated, you have to be a domain expert. I mean, in a way, even if you're not at the beginning, you have to learn enough so that you become a domain expert. But the danger is, once you've become a domain expert, you can be trapped by that knowledge. And so inventors have this paradoxical ability to have that 10,000 hours of practice and be a real domain expert, and have that beginner's mind. Have that look at it freshly, even though they know so much about the domain. And that's the key to inventing. You have to have both. And I think that is intentional. I think all of us have that inside of us, and we can all do it, but you have to be intentional about it. You have to say, yeah, I am going to become an expert, and I'm going to keep my beginner's mind. You can't.
Okay, real quick. So if you don't know what a domain expert is, it's a person who has a level of expertise in one particular field. So whatever it is that you are in, being a domain expert is just knowing everything in that particular field. I think that's great advice. Whatever you're doing, you need to become an expert at it. So like for me, with my e-commerce business, I am in the process of becoming a domain expert of e-commerce, because I'm constantly learning how to get more efficient ad spend. I'm constantly learning how to improve my SEO, and I'm constantly pushing myself further and trying to get better products on my store, etc. So that's some great advice. Knowing exactly what you're doing and knowing that you need to become an expert in whatever it is. So let's keep going.
Can't skip steps. You have to put one foot in front of the other. Things take time. There are no shortcuts, and but you want to do those steps with passion and ferocity. It's easy to have ideas. It's very hard to turn an idea into a successful product. There are a lot of steps in between, and it takes persistence, relentlessness. So I always tell people who are, who think they want to be entrepreneurs, you need a combination of stubborn relentlessness and flexibility. And you have to know when to be which. And basically, you need to be stubborn on your vision, because otherwise it'll be too easy to give up. But you need to be very flexible on the details, because as you go along pursuing your vision, you'll find that some of your preconceptions were wrong, and you're going to need to be able to change those things. So I think taking an idea successfully all the way to the market and turning it into a real product that people care about and that really improves people's lives is a lot of hard work. Don't.
Real quick, I want to stop it there. And that'll probably be the end. There's a couple minutes left, but there's some really good nuggets there. He talked about how taking an idea, just making an idea is very easy. Um, not even for me, really. If you checked out my video on making 5 new ideas a day, it'll take me like 30 minutes to come up with those 5 ideas. But really, that's the easy part. Once you have a good idea, going ahead with that vision and creating a product that adds value to the marketplace, that is the real hard part. Because the idea can come instantaneously, but going ahead with that product and putting it on the market and turning it into something that provides value takes a lot of hard work, like he said. And another thing he said was being stubborn with your vision as an entrepreneur, but flexible with all the details, because you might have preconceived notions about things that you might need to change as you move forward in business. I think that's some amazing advice, and I think he had some great nuggets in in that speech that I will definitely be using, and I hope you guys got some value from that as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, if you did enjoy, leave a like on the video, leave some comments in the comment section below with any feedback you might have or discussion, and subscribe to the channel for additional business related content. As always, my name is Ron King. Have a great day. Peace.